Well, this is just getting really pathetic. So, Tim Pool, the very weird, far right, far left, it's very hard to place Timmy sometimes, but recently he's gone all in with the Trump cult, and it is embarrassing where he will end up trying to defend Trump against everything now. So now, with more and more of the Epstein files and photos and documents being released, he's going with Trump is really a secret agent, man. You didn't know that, but yeah, he's some secret James Bond guy. Based on no evidence, he just speculates it's a James Bond operation.
Toward activity, and that is an understatement. However, shortly after the release of these emails, only people noticed the victim's name that was redacted was in fact Virginia Dufresne, who had already testified years ago that Trump never did anything wrong. So the question then becomes, why did Democrats choose to redact the name of an individual who had already testified Trump never did anything wrong?
Well, I gotta be honest, even by his full logic, I'm like, wait, so they redact the name to protect the victim. I don't know for sure it is Virginia. I mean, maybe it's Virginia. I mean, the problem is we have so many victims, it's hard to keep up, keep count, or keep them all straight. It's a lot of people we're talking about. Also, I don't think Virginia said Donald didn't do anything wrong. I think quite the opposite, according to her statements that I read. But maybe Timmy wants to prove that. I guess what he's saying is that she couldn't say he did anything outright illegal. That may be true. However, that's different from saying he didn't do anything wrong. Maybe Tim needs to study basic logic as well as get a dictionary. However, it is true that because Virginia tragically passed away, we're sort of stuck. Could she verify some of these statements now? Well, maybe not. What's really amusing or disturbing is just how far these people are going to find a plausible excuse for Trump to say, well, he's not exactly guilty. I'm not saying he's innocent, but, he's not as guilty as you think he is for reasons. Because if you think Timmy's the worst guy here, nope, Megyn Kelly decided to go even further, admitting she knew more about this case than people realize and was not overly disturbed that basically these were underage victims because they weren't that young. And therefore, she was like, it wasn't too bad. But now she's kind of horrified. But, now she's horrified.
Virtually everything. Not everything, but virtually everything. And this person has told me from the start, years and years ago, that Jeffrey Epstein, in this person's view, was not a pedophile. This is this person's view, who was there for a lot of this, but that he was into the barely legal type. Like he liked 15-year-old girls. And I realize this is disgusting. I'm definitely not trying to make an excuse for this. I'm just giving you facts. But he wasn't into like 8-year-olds, but he liked the very young teen types that could pass for even younger than they were, but would look legal to a passerby. And that is what I believed, and that was what I reliably was told for many years. And it wasn't until we heard from Pam Bondi that they had tens of thousands of videos.
Again, I don't want to mean to cut Kelly off, but she gets a little repetitive. Now, what's interesting is that she says, so people are criticizing her because it's only now that she's really like, oh, Jeff is too much. Before I was like, okay, I mean, there were victims, but really, I didn't really care. So, and again, she is citing someone else, right? She's citing some kind of professional was examining, I guess, these files or documents. It's like, no, he's not a, again, in this person's opinion, who is this person? Don't know. That person did not think that Jeffrey was that bad. But now she's like, no, he really is bad, guys. I finally realized he's really bad. And I know, like, Megyn Kelly's a mess. She's a racist and a moron, and I don't like her. However, people are misciting and misquoting her. She is citing someone else in the case. But nevertheless, it is disturbing that she's trying to find all these kind of technical lines. And she does say on the record she doesn't trust Trump or Pam Bondi, so she's not excusing their behavior. On the other hand, but this is a radical double standard, right? Would she be as understanding if this was Obama or Clinton? No. If this was somebody on the left, she'd be like, oh my God, the children in danger. Oh my God, save the children. But because Trump is kicking out a lot of immigrants, even if they're legally here, doesn't matter, and he's very anti-trans, then she's like, I find that very important. I mean, I'm more interested in that. Okay, so maybe he did stuff with girls with Jeffrey. I really don't care. But now it's getting too hot. It's too hot now. Now she's all in on getting rid of Jeffrey and getting rid of Denali because it's just too much. It's too much. Even the conservatives are like, okay, this is too extreme. It's too extreme even for us. He's got to answer the question, release the files, so on and so forth. So there we go. But yeah, a lot of people are misquoting or misciting her. She's not excusing the behavior, but you can kind of tell she's sort of like not that outraged as she should be. But I'm sure if it was a liberal or leftist, she would be going crazy. She'd be going nuts. But after all this, merely it's like, I don't trust Donald. I do think Jeffrey's a bad guy, but there's like a lot of bad people out there. And there we go. Well, at least she's better than Tim Pool. Tim Pool's like, just imagining all these weird conspiracies and spy games that Donald is truly a hero. He's not releasing the files because that would hurt the donors that he was talking to the feds about. You see, really, at the end of the day, he was Batman, Superman, Anakin behind the scenes. We just didn't know that. How does Tim Pool know this? He's just guessworking. I guess that he doesn't want the files because they would prove that he's really a superhero. And, Trump is like a humble guy. So, there you go. That's Tim Pool's full theory about why Donald Trump is getting nervous about the files, which they admitted do exist. Pam Bondi is on the record saying, oh, yeah, I've got the files. They're right in front of my face. But now magically she can't find the files. Saying, files? I can't find the files. What files are you talking about? The files you said were like on your desk. Those files. Oh, listen, we're in mourning about Charlie Kirk. We got bigger issues like the government shutdown, which Denali created. He created the shutdown, but we'll put that aside. We got more important issues like immigration, China's, Mexico, Gulf of America's. I put on a MAGA shirt. Helping Scientologists cover up their crimes. We've got more serious issues. Okay, I don't want to talk about Jeffrey Epstein anymore. But it's not going to go away. And Candace Owens has officially said she's done with MAGA. She quits her MAGA position. She has no more faith in Trump's MAGA. And even the hardcore MAGAs are like, yeah, we're starting to lose hope and faith that Denali was telling the truth. Imagine that. Decade after decade of lying and fraud. And now they're like, maybe he's not telling us the whole truth about Jeffrey. Yeah, maybe. Maybe he was a liar the whole time. But there we go. So, yeah, but I'd have to defend Kelly a little bit. People are really misquoting and misciting her. And I do get it. She's a monster and evil. But I do find it that they want to cancel her now. You're going to cancel her over this. But her being a racist, a moron, a liar, grifter, and doing Trump's propaganda before, that was okay. Because she's a beautiful white woman. And, life is so hard for rich white women today. Yeah. Okay. But although I am defending her in terms of being accurate, I really don't care if she gets canceled, but let's at least try to be accurate. She's not really defending Denali, but she is saying that, once upon a time to her, it wasn't so bad. But now it's really bad because, it's too much. It's too many videos. So I guess if there was only one video of Jeff and Donald having fun, I'd be like, okay, I mean, so what? Let's concentrate on the real hard issue Americans care about, the transsexuals in the boys' bathroom, okay? That's the real existential issue of our time, according to Megyn Kelly.